And welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. Good
How are
morning.
you?
Good morning.
What a way to start this conversation with one of your favorite songs.
I really love it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
There's another one. We've reserved that one.
Oh my
God. Good to have you in the studios of Asaase 99.5. We're live in Tamale also and in Kumasi. Of course, you can also get us live on Facebook at Asaase 99.5. You just go there. And if you have any relevant questions, you might want to post them there. I'm sure the president is here. We'll attempt to do justice to all of that. Let's start from 2019. Let's look back at 2019. Do you believe the reset has truly restored public interest or public trust in Ghana football as we speak?
So, good morning to your cherished listeners and viewers across the country and beyond. I'm extremely happy to be here.
We're excited to have you.
This is my foremost visit to this edifice, and I'm very glad that I finally and eventually made it. So let's go back into time. We took over office, or we're given a chance to serve in 2019, October 25 to be precise, at the time that the game had been reduced to its lowest in terms of image, in terms of general organization, in terms of governance, in terms of how people perceive the product, in terms of how people consume the product, and the general breakdown of the football ecosystem. Don't forget that the game was totally stopped by both government and FIFA. So what that means is that at that time there was no football, and we were given the chance to rebuild the sport, rebuild the industry. We're given the chance to bring confidence back in the industry. We're given the chance to revive all our domestic competitions. We're given the chance to realign with CAF and FIFA and to be able to compete at a continental level. We're given the chance to resurrect coast football, which is the rock of our sport, which had been in abeyance for 6 years, if I'm not mistaken. We're given the chance to give hope to women's football, who at that time didn't have the kind of attention they so deserved. So it was at that time I would say it was a complete shutdown of the football ecosystem. But myself, together with the team, were very determined. I knew that to rebuild the foundation of our football would take time. The enormity of the task I didn't really appreciate until I walked through that door on my first day in office, and I was like, wow, there's a lot to be done than I expected. So we started the journey. One of the foremost challenges I faced as an individual was to find the right people with the right skill set, with the right levels of passion, to be with me, to believe in my vision, and to buy into my vision and to execute my vision. That was perhaps one of the biggest challenges, and I had to strive. I had to be patient, and I had to systematically pick the right people to join me on this journey. Then, just about the time we were about setting off, we had COVID coming in, and COVID completely shut the whole world, including football. At the time, we couldn't meet like we are meeting today to even speak. We were all locked up in our homes, and footy or football also suffered the same. So 2 years went away without we having the liberty to do what we really wanted to do. That notwithstanding, we persevered, we pushed, and we started the journey of laying the foundation, fixing the fundamentals, bringing back the love, resurrecting all our domestic competitions, and most importantly for me, that singular decision of chairing the National Juvenile Committee was a highlight. Because if you want to build from the bottom, you need to pay attention to Coles football, and I put myself there to serve the Coles ecosystem. Today, Coles football is being played in almost every district. I know that there's a lot more that has to be done, but they are receiving unprecedented support from leadership of the Football Association. So it's been a very, very challenging period. And throughout the journey, my message has been very, very clear. During this period, we'll have good times. During this period, we'll have bad times. And once we brace ourselves for these two scenarios, you would always be ready to face whatever challenges, good or bad, that comes our way. But so far, I'll look back and say that I'm extremely happy about the strides we have made. We say that Rome was never built in a day. We've made massive gains, but we also know that there's a lot of work that has to be delivered to our football people.
Let's talk about structural reforms under your administration. Maybe three most important structural reforms that you have implemented within this period in your tenure.
Well, I think that one of the foremost had to do with the general governance structure. How governance was delivered, the need for clear lines of accountability, the need for us to bring confidence to not only the football people who are our direct consumers, but also the private sector to have confidence in the football leadership and to be able to come back into our office space and to do business with us. So governance has been very, very key, and anybody who has been associated with my leadership will tell you that we have absolute zero tolerance for corruption. We have made sure that the key need structural areas in the developmental agenda have all been taken care of. Establishing the right unit or department to ensure that governance is at its apex. We just to speak about a few, we introduced the integrity department. We enhanced the finance department. We enhanced the communications department. Enhanced the quality of personnel, the national teams department. We introduced for the first time in the history of the Ghanaian game an HR unit of our football association. We have a staff size of close to 84, and therefore HR would always be a key topic. We established the GFA Foundation to take care of our corporate social responsibility needs. Just to mention a few, governance, and then I was able to convince Prosper Harrison Addo, lawyer of 23 years plus at the bar, to join us from telco giants MTN. That should tell you clearly the importance or the premium I place on governance and to make sure that we are covered. We also introduced for the first time our legal department for the FA. So we have a legal unit taking care of all our legal issues. So governance has been a key subject for me as a leader, and I think that today when I look at how the FA stands, I'm extremely proud. And here I'm not talking only about the headquarters. I'm also talking about our office at the airport residential area. I'm also talking about our technical center in Pram Pram. I'm also talking about our 10 football offices across the 10 football regions. So it's been some good work that has been done.
Katie, you've spoken about governance reforms, but I'm sure you'd agree with me that perception still remains a challenge. Some fans still question transparency and fairness in the domestic game. How would you react to this?
Well, that's quite relative. Well, if in terms of interpretation and understanding of statutes, it's a total different subject matter. And usually once decisions do not go in your favor, you give all sorts of connotations and interpretations to it. But what is very clear is that we have established systems, processes that ensure that there's clear education of cases, especially when it comes to disciplinary issues. And when it is that people go against the statutes, you face the consequences. I have said on varied platforms and during our annual congresses that, look, let us adopt our status like we read our Quran or we read our Bible. It's very, very crucial for us to understand what we have adopted. And most importantly, I know that one of the key topics which always brings some controversies has to do with refereeing decisions and stuff. And I've always asked and advised our people to learn the rules of the sport. I mean, you see a referee take a decision and you sit at home and say that, or in the stands and say that this is a wrong decision. Yeah. Meanwhile, if I were to ask you, what is law 1? You have no idea. Yeah. What is law 18? You have no idea. And once you have no idea, how do you interpret the law that you don't know? You know, so it's, and I'm not saying that the referees have had it perfect, okay? But what I'm saying is that we need to help ourselves by reading more, by learning more, and by paying attention to our own status, status that leads all of us, status that governs all of us, status that we have adapted together. So yes, I mean, it doesn't take, or it never took people to rebuild Rome when it was broken, and the kind of image that we inherited will not take 2 days to completely erode and correct. But what I'm sure about, and what I can say for a fact, is that we've made massive inroads in repairing the image of the Football Association, not only within our jurisdiction, but beyond the shores of Ghana, on the West African space, on the African space, and on the world stage. The image of Ghana is back to the level that we deserve. We're getting the respect that we need. I sit here as a vice president of CAF. That speaks volumes of the image that we currently carry. I sit here as a chairman of one of the foremost and one of the most important subcommittees of FIFA. And that should tell you that Ghana, through our hard work, through our collective hard work, is back to where we belong. I mean, President Kwesi Nyantakyi took us to the apex of the African game. Unfortunately, we lost him. And one would wonder how many years it would take Ghana to arrive at that stage again. Yeah. But 5 years down the line, we are there. We are there. So if somebody said to you that we have not corrected the bad image that we carried, that should be a lie. I think that we have respect within the corridors of governance of football at the highest level, and I will not take an individual pride in this, but I would say that, look, through the collective work of the executive committee and all our RFAs and the way our clubs and owners have behaved, today a Ghanaian sits in that strategic space.
Well, obviously, football governance in Ghana today is much, much stronger and better than it was in 2018. If there is any one area that probably your administration has fallen short, what would it be?
Oh, that was a quick one. Okay, so I want to win off the pitch. I want to win on the pitch. Off the pitch, I think that I've won loads of battles, or we have won loads of battles. On the pitch, the kind of battles I want to win are still outstanding, and that's still some work to be done. I want to win the AFCON for a fact. It's been, only God knows how many years. We've lost count the number of times that we have tried, and we've not been able to win the AFCON. Basically, I want to win every tournament for Ghana. I want to place Ghana on the medal podium on every given occasion,
which you have not done yet.
In some cases, I mean, yes. I mean, don't forget that. Yes, for the Blasters we have not won. The U20 we won the AFCON. We won the WAFO. We won the AFCON. The U20, the Black Queens, bronze medalist, and are back at the AFCON. Black Starlets, after being absent for years, are back at the AFCON. Princesses just qualified to the last line for qualification again to the World Cup. We are the last World Cup. 2 times we've been at the World Cup under my leadership. What excites me most is how far we've brought domestic football. Okay, I mean, yesterday, 2 days ago, we saw the Super Clash in Kumasi, and that was a bold statement. That was a loud statement about our game, about the fact that we still have the passion for domestic football, about the fact that we can produce our game for good viewership, about the fact that we can create passion and bring energy to our people, about the fact that our players can go in a very, very serene atmosphere to show their quality, and about the fact that we are one of the best referees on the African continent, and referee Daniel Lai, you know. So I'm very happy about how far we brought domestic football. I mean, currently we have the National Division 1 also on TV. On TV, we have the Women's Premier League on TV. And these are big milestones for the Ghanaian game, bringing the sport right to the doorstep of the people.
We'll delve deeper into the domestic league, the local league. Let's turn to the Black Stars, the emotional heartbeat of Ghana football. And I'm sure yesterday I saw pictures of you and the technical team at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital. What was it about?
Oh well, so our coaches are in town. They're doing some work. Normally, for those of us who consume football, we come to the stadium and we think that that's the beginning of work, you know. But in football, a lot of work is done behind the scenes before we jump onto the pitch. So, as part of our corporate social responsibility, as part of our desire to show love to people who consume our game, our product, we paid a visit to the Accra Regional Hospital, specifically to the maternity wards, to give to offer support to new mothers, new babies in the maternity wards, and to show love to them. And I think that this has been one of my key things as part of my life. I've always been charitable. I've always given back the little that God has given me, and I always encourage people who work with me and for me to also do same. So this is not the first time that I have paid a visit to a medical facility, and this is not the first time the Black Stars, for example, have visited a medical facility, and this will not be the last. This I can promise.
It was nice seeing the technical team, yourself and the technical team holding the babies and all of that.
Perhaps I was dreaming about having new babies.
Well, if you just join us, you're still live on the Asaase Breakfast Show. We're talking to the president of the Ghana Football Association, Mr. Simon Okraku, my guest in the studio this morning. And we are on the Black Stars now. Ket, how would you assess the Black Stars trajectory, since the 2022 World Cup?
Okay, so before the 2022 World Cup qualification, nobody really gave Ghana a chance to make it to the Mundial. At the time, I would say that our national team was very light, but against all odds, against the trust and belief of everybody, we stood firm. We believed in our way, and we won the battle against Nigeria, and we went to the World Cup. Now, at the World Cup, we played 3 games. The first game against Portugal, it had to take a Master C Ronaldo to get a penalty for Portugal, for them to win 3-2 against Ghana. Then we won the second game, and unfortunately lost the third game against Uruguay. But we left Qatar with our heads up, because we saw perhaps the youngest national team at the World Cup putting up some amazing and quality football. And I remember clearly our one of our goals against Korea, where we had 32 passes before Kudu scored, and that gave us hope for our collective future. Fast forward, we came home, we qualified for the AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire, and it was a disaster. Okay, it didn't go well. I was very livid about the turnout of events because I saw everything right unfold in my eyes. To be honest with you, going into that competition, I was not expecting something different. I must be honest today.
Okay.
For those of my guys who were very close to me, I was very clear to them in private that look, it's not gonna work. Okay, because I knew.
What was informing that?
I knew the team. I knew the happenings in the team. I knew the total package. Let me put it this way. So we exited the competition at the group stage, and once we came home, there was a need for us to relook at what we did or what we had to do.
What went wrong?
And unfortunately, instead of us going up again, we started to decline, and we didn't make it to the last AFCON, and then again, obviously Ghana spoke, and Ghana spoke very, very loud.
That was a reputational setback.
Yes, that was a big one, and Ghana spoke very, very loud, and I think that. For who I am, I've always known myself as somebody who listens a lot. I listen to the voice of the people. I listen to the concerns of the people. And I think that everybody in our country spoke about one thing. There's a need for a reset, to borrow a certain phrase, a certain word. There was a need for us to be honest to ourselves. There was a need for us to look at what was fundamentally wrong with us and to fix this. And I think that having listened to everybody, having listened to my executive committee, we were very, very decisive on what we had to do or what the problems were. And we took the right decisions, in my opinion. The collective effect of those decisions is that we qualified, unbeaten. We topped the group. We amassed 25 points out of 30 and qualified to the World Cup. Okay, and that was a
huge statement.
That was a big statement. That was a statement of unity, a statement of belief, a statement of trust, and a statement of the ability of a group of people who are united for a common cause, and that was what the executive committee of the FA showed. That's what the Thinker committee of the Black Stars showed. Today we are back to the world stage. For me, that's the apex of what one can achieve in football, to be part of the global gathering when the faithfuls go marching. And we are there.
All right. Now, under the current coach Otuado, the team seems to be in transition. Would you say that the Black Stars have defined its football identity now, or we are on our way?
I think it's work in progress. So Otto has supervised two phases of our Black Stars in recent years on his return. The first phase ended in a disaster, like we all know, and like we've all discussed over time. The second phase has been much, much better. Like I said, year 2025, the Black Stars played unbeaten in all competitive games, and we played some scintillating football in some games. That's very natural of developmental pathway of any football team. And I think that over time he's picked up a lot. We've also given him the needed support system to be able to be more efficient in his delivery. And I think that Otto is very passionate about Ghana. He played for Ghana at the Mondial in 2006. Against all odds, he played through injuries at that time, and he's very passionate about representing Ghana. He's the only Ghanaian who has qualified Ghana 2 times to the World Cup. I mean, let's give him respect for this. And I think that at every given opportunity, I will respectfully ask Ghanaians to give him our support, because he's done very well. You need to be at the World Cup to understand what it means to be at the World Cup. And this man with his team have taken Ghana back to back to the World Cup. And I think that we have to appreciate the good work and we have to encourage him to do more. I think that with prayers behind this team, we should be able to put up a good team that will make Ghana proud at the World Cup.
So what's the technical vision of the team leading to the 2028 World Cup, 2026 World Cup, I must say?
Well, I think that for me, I mean, yesterday we had a meeting. The vision, my vision, the vision of the first man of our country, the president, the vision of the sector minister is not different from the vision of the head coach and the Tenka team. We are a group of soldiers going to battle, and our mission is to win the battle. It's simple.
Are we targeting a deeper run at the World Cup into semi-finals?
I think I've said something even much bigger than that. Our mission is to win the battle.
Wow. Do you have a clear performance target for the technical team?
It's to win the battle.
Is that
we are going to a battle. The opponents, the oppositions that we face are all our targets, and we have to win those battles against every opponent that we meet. It is very clear. I don't have a different mission. My mission is to lead Ghana with the support of Ghanaians to the World Cup and to bring glory to Ghana.
How excited or how satisfied are you with the current technical structure of the Black Stars? You know, we did some recent adjustments to the team now.
Okay, so let me say that sometimes for those of us in the media space, do surprise me a lot. I say this because some decades ago I also sat behind the console, and I know this business very well. Sometimes people do forget that I spent 22 odd years behind the console, talking football and football only. I mean, all of a sudden, additions to Tenka committee or Tenka team of the Black Stars become a big topic. And I'm like, what's happening? I mean, this is not the first time ever in the history of Ghana that the FA had taken a decision to augment our Tenka team. This is not the first time. And this does not even stop with the Black Stars. For all the national teams, we do augment the squads all the time. What is true is that Ghana, especially with the Black Stars, have always had one of the, shall I say, lean, smallest Tenka teams. Okay, because of financial constraints, we've always had to close our eyes on key need areas by either refusing to provide same or by giving excuses. Okay, I mean, 2 years ago we were in the US to play against Mexico in a friendly game. And during the warm-up, I sat in the stands and I was looking closely at what's happening on the pitch. And on my left side, I saw the goalkeepers of Mexico do the warm-up, and they had 4 coaches. I look on the right side, we had Richard Olele Kingston, 1. This is Ghana. And this is supposed to be a superpower in football. Okay, so 1 coach, 1 goalkeepers coach handling 3 goalkeepers. This is insane. But the media was not interested in this, or has never been interested in this. Okay, the media is only interested when numbers improve for the good of what football stands for. Okay, so what I'm saying is that what we have done is not different. The last time we went to the World Cup, we augmented the Tenka team. The last time we went to the AFCON, we augmented the Tenka team. That's the truth, you know. So augmenting the Tenka team is nothing new. Most often you need to listen to the needs of the head coach and to provide same. So for example, if you look at the medical department, we used to have 1 doctor and a maze. Okay, for example. Over time, more physios had been introduced to the fray. And if you look at the fact that you have a squad of 26 players, okay, with 3 physios, for example, if one player spends 1 hour in that treatment room, how long will it take for the 3 physios to take care of their 26-man squad? Just think about it. At the end, players will not sleep. That's what we are saying. You know, so ordinarily, you perhaps take 6 physios or 7 physios in a team, but we don't have the resources. You know, and players consistently on daily basis go to the treatment room, for example. So if you woke up one morning and the FA announces that, oh, we've appointed 7 physios to the Black Stars, it will be a headline story already.
It will.
But people don't really understand what it means to be in that treatment room and to give maximum attention to players. In actual fact, sometimes we need even more than 1 treatment room for a squad of 26. But we keep 1. You know what I mean? So people will have to come to terms with what is happening in football.
The best practices.
The best practices and needs. So another example, equipment officers. If the Blasters are embarking on a journey, you need to be with a group to see the quantum of our luggages, of equipment that we carry along. We're going to AFCON. Sometimes we take, shall I say, we say 2 containers, 40 feet containers, 2 to the tournament. And you have sometimes 1 equipment officer. What happens is that you see team doctors like Dr. Pambo, professional like Dr. Pambo, the footballers, Kudus, Pate, Dede Ayu, Andre Ayu, carrying their bags, carrying equipment that are needed for team execution. This is not acceptable, you know, but just increase the number of equipment officers, it will be a headline story. Because people just don't understand what it takes to manage a national team as big as the Black Stars of Ghana. You know, so what we have done is not different from the normal good practices. And you have the liberty to check the German national team, the Spanish national team, the English national team, to look at their technical team and the numbers and what makes such national teams more efficient. What we have done is just to be close to being perfect. We are not there yet. We still don't have the numbers.
Now, were all these technical appointments made strictly on the recommendations of the head coach Utuado, or did the FA had a hand? Did you have a hand in appointing these 5?
So Otto is the key. At the end, we put the contracts together, we negotiate, but it's for Otto to interview, to make recommendations. Obviously, the FA will look at the CV to see whether what we are being told is right. We also do form subcommittees who also interview possible candidates. But at the end, it's the decision of the head coach. Okay, he must be comfortable with the people who will be working or he'll be working with, and that's most important.
Right. So the FA President, Okraku, my guest here on the Asaase Breakfast Show, and a number of issues we're talking about. We're still on the Black Stars. Let's look ahead to the Black Stars preparation towards 2026 World Cup. I know we have some international friendlies to play. What can you tell us with regards to preparing towards the Mundial, President?
Like I said, we're sending our military team to war. And we have to make sure that they are well equipped, they are well prepared, they are well motivated for the battles ahead. And the end vision is to win the battle. So we've been engaging, trying to find the right formula, right plan. And one of those plans has to do with friendly games that the team will be involved in. At the minute, we have confirmed 2, Austria and Germany. Austria in Vienna on the 27th of March, and Germany in Stuttgart. We would also be confirming two today, two more friendly games today, just to make sure that the team gets the needed exposure. The coach gets the chance to try whatever systems and strategies he wants to try before we kickstart our first game against Panama on the 17th of June. We would also obviously go into training camps. That's also being prepared. We have a scheduled meeting with Puma, our technical partner, to make sure that we have all the equipment that the team will need. And we are also engaging government to make sure that all financial issues are ironed before the team departs, because we don't want a repetition of what happened in Brazil. We don't want a repetition of that. So I think that so far everything is going on well.
Is the budget ready?
It's still under discussions, and I'm sure that before the team departs, everything would have been sorted out.
Okay. Any timelines?
Well,
so there'll be no excuse like budget didn't come to the ministry early and all of that.
No, I doubt. Because big lessons have been learnt. I'm in constant contact with the sector minister. Also, don't forget that the government has formed an interministerial committee to support the FA on this campaign, and we are working very closely together. So I'm very positive that things will work out well.
Well, one of the most influential players in the Black Stars is Thomas Partey, and I'm sure he remains central to the Black Stars when he's fit. Are you taking any steps to ensure he's physically ready and properly managed ahead of the World Cup? And we know his issues in the courts and all of that. How are you helping, to ensure that he's in the right frame of mind for the Mundial? Are you in constant touch with him?
So, Thomas is our deputy captain.
Yeah.
Thomas is a key member of the Black Stars. Just to take our minds back a bit, that wonderful goal he scored in Abuja took us to the Mundial in Qatar. He's somebody that we love so much, and a very, very key member of our squad. What that means is that the FA will never sleep over any situation with a player like Thomas. We are in constant contact with Thomas. He's in a good frame of mind, despite what we read. He has a strong mindset, and he's preparing to represent Ghana at the World Cup. In terms of his ongoing lawsuits in England, we are well connected. We engage a lot. He knows our position. He knows where we stand, and we stand shoulder to shoulder with him during these challenging times, because we need him to be in the right frame of mind for the World Cup. And I'm very positive that despite all the happenings, Thomas will show up.
Good. Do you think the current players fully understand the expectations, that come with a Black Stars jersey? Because there were points that you had cause to pour your heart out to them. Do you think that they've fully come to understand the expectations that come with wearing the Black Stars jersey now?
I think to be honest with you, I think every member of the squad, first of all, do understand what Ghana stands for. Every member of the squad respects the Ghanaian color. Every member of the squad knows what it means to play at the World Cup, and therefore there's no ambiguity at all as to how their attitude will be when we eventually regroup for this campaign. Yes, when new players come into the picture, sometimes it does take time for them to adapt to our systems and our processes, etc., etc. But I think that by and large we are okay. We have a very, very good family unit. The team led by Captain Jordan Ayew is a very good family, and they are very, very proud to be given the chance to represent Ghana at the World Cup. And I believe that each one of them will give up their best during the upcoming tournament.
Are there any plans to include players of Ghanaian descent ahead of the World Cup? It's been a conversation people have had, back and forth with it. What's the stand of the GFA?
Well, I think that for me, there's no discussion. For me, a Ghanaian is a Ghanaian. Okay, if a Ghanaian is born in Sisala, he's a Ghanaian. If a Ghanaian is born in Brixton, he's Ghanaian. If a child is born in Milan to Ghanaian parents, he's a Ghanaian. And if it is that they are good footballers, and if it is that the coaches want them, they will play for Ghana. It's as simple as that. I mean, I think sometimes we unfortunately dwell too much on what should be the reality. I mean, the reality is that we are in a competitive market. The reality is that every country, whether Germany or England or Spain, are looking for competitive advantage in football. And if it is that Germany can cross over to Turkey to find sons of the land who are of the highest quality and can play for Germany, so be it. And why should Ghana sit aloof and watch our kids go and play for other countries? I will not subscribe to that.
So we are likely to see that happen.
Well, it depends on the coaches, to be honest.
Okay.
If they, I know they are putting some hard work. If they find talents who are born abroad, they are welcome home. My son is born abroad. My son is born in England. I mean, if my son is a top player and the coaches think that he can play for Ghana to bring us a World Cup, so be it.
Okay.
At the end of the day, he's my son, he's my blood.
Okay, so, Princeton says, ultimately, who carries final responsibility for the composition of the technical team, the coach or the FA? Or I don't know if you want to answer those one.
Both.
Okay.
Both
the FA and the coach.
Well, first of all, the FA appoints the head coach, no doubt.
Upon the recommendation.
The FA, in consultation with all key stakeholders, do appointments. But when it comes to this short-term support systems that we offer the coaches, you need to allow the coach also to play a big part in determining who comes on board, because it's also about the chemistry within the setup.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to women's football, which many say is quietly progressing. I mean, what has driven the recent growth in women's football, Kate? And it's one of the things many credit you for.
I thought many would credit me for a lot of things.
No, it's one of them. One of the many.
If you travel to Upper East, and look at the fact that for the entire region of Upper East, until we decided to invest $742,000 in the construction of the first ever FIFA standard football pitch, then you understand how impactful we have been since we took over. So yes, I'm happy when I hear good stories being told about women's football. And that good story started with the women football strategy that we put together 5 years ago. And then our avowed commitment to continuously invest and to give women the chance to also realize their dreams. I mean, so I'm happy when I hear those stories, and I'm sure that if we want to talk about women's football, we'll start to talk about from talent identification program with FIFA, our established 3 football academies in Upper East, in the Middle Belt with Prempeh College and with Achimota School. You want to talk about the strategic support we've offered women Premier League clubs.
Yeah.
The visibility we've given to women's Premier League football on TV, free-to-air TV. The unstoppable capacity building strategies that we have unleashed onto the women's space with our partnership with Bedway, with the FA, and with FIFA. I think that the women's game has received lots of support. Today, 90% of the Black Queens players play abroad. Okay, and they've gotten this opportunity because of the visibility that we have offered women's football. Today, women Premier League players use category A Puma football boots. Today, they are wearing good jerseys. Today, they receive buses for placing in good positions at the end of the league. Today, they are shopping at Malcolm. Today, they are receiving full support from Goyle as a result of our partnership. Today, they are receiving footballs. Today, they are receiving direct cash. Today, the FA is fully paying all their match expenses, i.e. referee expenses, match commissioners expenses, venue media officers expenses. This is how far we have brought football in our country, especially domestic football. This is how far we've been supportive of the growth of the domestic game. So I am not surprised that all the plans, all the strategies are beginning to show. I mean, what the Black Princesses did 2 days ago in South Africa was something that is very pleasing to the eye. Okay, what the Black Queens did in Morocco, it's something that gave me happiness. The fact that they've again qualified for the WAFCON gives me a lot of happiness. And very soon you will see the Twinkle Twinkle Black Maidens, the U17 girls, back again on the international stage. I mean, look at what we have done. We've introduced girls U15 organized structured league across the country through our partnership with FIFA, because of the confidence FIFA has in the leadership of the Football Association. We've introduced a lot of national competitions for girls, U15 girls, national championship. This takes place at our Tenka Center in Pram Pram every year. U17 girls national championship, just to mention a few. So you can see that we are not only developing the game at the district level, at the regional level, but also at the national level. They are being given opportunity to be seen, to be watched on TV, to be scouted by clubs within Ghana and clubs outside Ghana, and to realize their dreams. Now girls are taking care of homes. They become breadwinners in their homes because of what we are doing. So I'm very happy.
It can only get better.
I'm very happy when I see the girls happy representing Ghana and giving hope to many other people. These are things that excite me.
All right, so let's talk about the Ghana Premier League and
League, Papa.
Bringing back the love. Let's talk about the GPL. I mean, it has regained, no doubt, some stability, but commercially, I'm sure it still faces major hurdles that can get better. Why has it been difficult to secure strong broadcast and sponsorship deals for the local league?
So, first of all, I'll say that since we took office, we've tried quite a number of models. What we have now is unprecedented. Let me be very, very clear. We have perhaps the biggest TV partnership ever that we've ever secured. Beginning of the season, we paid $1 million Ghana cedis to each of the Premier League clubs. We have also vastly enhanced the incentives for match officials. All 280 match officials are fully insured. Their match earnings have all increased over 100%. For example, FIFA referees used to receive per game 1,100 Ghana cedis per game. Today they are being paid 2,500 Ghana cedis. The merit awards at the end of the football season is unprecedented. Again, I'm using the word. The winner of the Premier League this year will take home 2 million Ghana cedis, and we are rewarding up to position number 15 on the league log. In total, the merit award is a little over 9 million Ghana cedis. Please, I'm 55 years since we started consuming football. I've never seen this. Okay, I've never seen this, unless I'm wrong. You can ask those who are 99 years and let them tell you whether they have ever seen this happen to the Ghana Premier League.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 days ago, we watched the Super Clash in Kumasi. Look at the quality of production. Okay, look at the scenery. This is how far we've brought the Ghana Premier League. Yes, there's still work to be done because we want to improve on the financial resources of our clubs. We want our clubs to be able to have the financial clout to go across our borders to bring in more talent to enrich our leagues. So yes, we've made big strides, but there's a lot more work to be done.
Are you ever close to securing a major headline sponsor for the Ghana Premier League?
So it depends on what you want and how you understand the model we are practicing. What we are practicing has no space for
headline,
sub-headline, subset headline, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
It's all coming in all the resources is coming in one plate and distributed. Okay. So we are engaging the private sector. Indeed, we've had good support from government by way of creating the enabling environment, and this has been led by the Chief of Staff himself, Honorable Julius Debra, has been on the forefront. The President himself gave the green light at Cabinet for SOEs to support the Ghana Premier League because, look, football is everything in Ghana. Okay, when football strives, there is peace. When football strives, we solve lots of problems of the streets of Ghana. Okay, so we've had good support from government, from the President himself, from the Chief of Staff, from the Sports Minister, from the former Sports Minister Mama Yariga. I think everybody have been very, very supportive of the push for us to have the best Premier League in the whole of Africa. And I think that even though we've not gotten there yet, we're taking the boxes and we'll get there.
One of the many issues people talk about is the issue of safety at our stadia. We know of what happened in the Pole issue. And till date, justice, the last time I checked, the family were like, justice has not been delivered as things stand now. What assurance are you giving would-be fans that would want to go to the stadium to watch our local games that safety is assured? Because at a time when we want to bring back the love, we need a lot of people to be at our stadia.
So the Pole issue, unfortunately, gave all of us the push that naturally should have existed before. Okay, and that resulted in we enhancing our regulations, adopting new regulations, and improving our match day protocols. Having done that, it's still imperative for us to continue on the pathway of educating our people, educating our fans to behave well. As we speak, we still have pockets of disturbances sometimes during games, and this is not acceptable. What we have tried to do is to make sure that the law is allowed to work at all times. When people misbehave, the judicial bodies take over and punitive actions are taken against such persons. However, it's important for us to continue like I said, our educational drive to let people understand what football stands for. Football stands for unity. Football stands for bringing people together, and there would always be, as we've always said, three results in football. There's a defeat, there's a draw, and there's a win for somebody, and whichever comes your way, you need to learn how to accept it and go your way. I mean, if you're not happy, just restrict yourself to lay down provisions in our statutes and seek redress.
Okay. All right. Okay. So one other issue is officiating. It keeps coming up in conversations about the league. And how soon can Ghana realistically expect the implementation of VAR in our domestic league? Does it have to do with financial? Is it infrastructural or technical?
So I made a promise during Congress that we will introduce the VAR in the Ghanaian space. Yeah. Today is the 17th of February, and I want to say that we will keep to our word. The process of having VAR has been challenging, but we are unrelenting in our determination to introduce VAR. Whether it takes 1 day or 2 years, we will introduce VAR. Now, having said that, let us not behave as if VAR provides solutions to the problems that we have identified. Okay? And we have seen this in more established jurisdictions. It even adds more controversy sometimes to refereeing decisions. So VAR is good. VAR potentially can help, but VAR doesn't erode or doesn't correct the established or the identified problems that do exist. We'll find the resources to bring the facility.
So it's financial?
Not only financial. It also has to do with the technology itself, internet connectivity or availability, etc., etc. This is Ghana. Okay, so I don't want to go too deep into some of our weak areas, but what I'm sure about is that the promise that I made in front of my congressmen and women will be carried.
All right. Now, we'll be wrapping up shortly, but let's talk about youth development, and it's very key in football. Why hasn't youth success consistently translated into senior dominance?
Okay, so we've already spoken about where we took the sport from.
Yeah.
And on this show this morning, I've spoken about the fact that for 6+ years, organized coast football was absent. Yeah. It's also important for me to say that at a point in time in between 2017 and beyond, we've not been consistent at the youth level. Okay, unlike in the time past when we were very present at all top international meets, and that gave us a chance to produce some quality talents. So once that cycle stopped, we struggled to produce the consistency and the talents. Now, I think that we are on our way back again with a much touted power to the youth strategy, where we are investing heavily in youth football, in coast football. And I think that this new group of black starlets will be perhaps the start of the new cycle. For the girls, I think that we are okay. Unfortunately, the U17 girls were banned because of that passport issue. But the U20 had always been present, and the result is that the Black Queens have been quite consistent in recent years. U20 boys have been good under the then coach Desmond Ofair, winning titles for us. U17 are now back. So I think that gradually we're coming back to the well-structured way of producing talents and making sure that the talents grow through the ranks.
There is a deliberate...
there's a clear deliberate strategy in place. Don't forget, today there's one Fatao Ishaku playing for Leicester City. Ishaku played 2 times at the U17 level. He played at the U20 level. He played at U23, and he's playing for the Black Stars.
He progressed steadily.
This is a key example that it's possible and it has been done.
All right, let's talk about your role within CAF. That places Ghana back at the top of the top table of African football governance. Kate, what practical benefits does this bring to Ghana football?
Question, Charlie. Let me see what I can try. I can answer the question.
You can.
So, I think to answer the question, I'll say first and foremost, I'm very humbled to have first of all won the elections to serve on the executive committee of CAF. I'm also very grateful to President Mosepe for choosing me as one of his abled lieutenants, the second vice president of the Confederation of African Football. Clearly, like I said earlier, when we lost President Nyantechi, the question on the lips of everybody is that when again we're gonna be there. And you really have to be there to understand what it means to be there. And for the short period, I'm under a year since I got elected. I'm not a year old yet, but it gives Ghana a voice. It gives Ghana the chance to compete. It gives Ghana a chance to be respected. And it gives Ghana a chance to be who we are as a football country. I mean, historically, we are a very powerful football nation on the African continent. Even on the world stage, Ghana would have been one of the foremost to have gotten to the semi-finals of the World Cup. But for the bad hand of Suarez in 2010 in South Africa, so Ghana is not somebody would say a small football country. And when it comes to the assembly of the football faithfuls, it's always important for a big football country like Ghana to be there. When the faithfuls in football meet, there's Germany, there's England, there's Spain, and there must be Ghana. So Ghana stands to benefit on all fronts, and by the grace of God, we are there, and we are there, and I think it's just a matter of time. Our quality will show, and people or nobody will take Ghana for granted.
Okay, all right. Now, before we go, there are a few relevant questions that people have brought in. I want to quickly bring it along so you touch on some of them if you can. What your relationship with Randy Abbey and a recent comment on Coco Matters is something. So somebody's asking.
My relationship with Randy. Yeah. Randy is my junior brother. He's my brother of many years. We've known each other for so long. We've served on various committees. We've worked together. I love him for his intellect, his intellectual capacity. I trust in him. I trust in his leadership. And he's one of those guys who doesn't fear to tell me that, Kurt, I think you're wrong. I think that if you went this way, it will be much better for us. This is the kind of person I have known over time. And I've always seen him as somebody who is very honest in his dealings with me. And whatever I wrote, I stand by what I wrote, because this is what I know of him as somebody of high quality, of high intellectual quality, and somebody when given the chance, can steady the ship. Okay, I liken him to my good self. I've always said that it's just a matter of time. Our football ecosystem will be steady, and it will be steady.
All right. Right. Frederick Christopher says, kindly ask Kurt if he has intentions for a third term. Well, I don't know. Have you taken that decision yet? Because the last time we're told that
I don't answer to Christopher or whoever he's called. I don't answer to him.
Okay. Okay. And another one here is asking whether is it true that Kurt is afraid of accountability? That's why he's insisting on going for a third term. I don't think so. And another person said, take it or leave it. Kurt is going for the third term. After all, is Kurt accountable to you? All right. Good morning. Watching live from Kwabenya. In fact, Kurt Okraku is the best ever GFA president we have in Ghana. All right. A lot more of your messages. But before that, as Ghana prepares for the World Cup, another World Cup cycle, what promise can you make to Ghanaians about the future of the Black Stars and football as a whole? Generally, we're wrapping up.
Well, I think that on the whole, we are in the right way. We are taking the right boxes. I'm very much interested in our domestic game. I love the way our domestic game is going. In saying this, I also want to accept that there are still some challenges within the domestic game, and we will fix together these challenges. In respect to the Black Stars and all our national teams, 2025, 2026 looks like a very, very busy year for us. And 2025 was an extremely good year for Ghanaian football. Like I said, the Black Stars played unbeaten in competitive games. And 2026, we will be dancing a lot more than we danced in 2025.
Quick questions here. Best ever Black Stars moment for you as a fan?
Qualification to the World Cup in Abuja.
Favorite player of all time, Ghanaian or global?
Kurt Okraku Digbami. But why you want to say me Asha? No, I'm not going to say Asha. Don't be
that. Which football club do you personally support?
Dreams FC.
Dreams FC. If you weren't in football administration, what job would you be doing now?
Football. Football.
Football or nothing?
Football or nothing.
Okay.
Or perhaps I'll go back to journalism.
Okay.
Yes.
If you could invite any footballer alive to dinner, who would it be?
Abedi Ayupele.
Abedi Ayupele. One piece of advice you'd give to young football fans in Ghana today?
Let's support our game. Let's love our domestic football. Forget about the Obroni football. Stop watching Obroni football. Let's watch our domestic game. Whether it's coast clubs in your community, female clubs in your community, or find your way to the Division 1 league centers and consume the local game. It's much better.
Right, Kurt. Are you comfortable with making our Black Stars budget or our national team budget public?
I don't have a problem.
You okay?
I don't have a problem at all. But I ask myself one question.
Yeah.
Why are we not asking every sector of the economy, every unit of the economy to make their budgets public? Why? And why Black Stars? Why? Why do we create confusion when there's no need for confusion? Why are we not asking Asaase Radio to make their budget public?
It's a private entity.
Yes, but GFA is a private entity.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Supported.
Yes.
Funded and supported.
Yes.
But the GFA, but the Black Stars.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Why are we not asking every sector of our Ghanaian public life to make their budgets public?
Okay.
Why?
Okay.
I mean, we dwell and waste our time sometimes on things which are needless. Okay, I mean, why do we place a lot of premium on when the real issues do exist? I don't have any problem. I mean, the president of the country have already given a directive.
Yeah.
The minister of the sector has carried the directive, and he will continue to carry the directive. That's it.
Have you had cause to speak to him about it? Your feelings about it?
I have no problem at all. Every line must go public. Because the point is, I only advise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't approve the budget. I don't disperse the budget. I don't take receipts for the budget. So for me, it's a waste of time. You know what I mean? That simple as that.
Right, Mr. Okraku, President of the Ghana Football Association, thank you very much for joining us here on the Asaase Breakfast Show. It's been wonderful having you.
Thank you very much. Well, last words.
Okay, I'm hoping we'll have this.
Kurt has been given a chance to serve. I'll finish serving and I'll leave.
Okay.
I hope you heard me loud and clear. Yeah.
Okay, so Joe, as a journalist from Ofinso, we were promised an ultramodern stadium to honor the children who died in 2020 during an accident. Can Kirk tell us what has become of that? That's a journalist.
I've no idea about
Ofinso.
That one. I didn't make that promise.
Yeah, and he says, Kirk, remember a committee was set up when a player cased money. That itself is a form of accountability. All right, thank you. Thank you very much for your messages. It's been wonderful having you. I'm sure and hoping that we will have this again before we head to the Mundial in 2026. Thank you so much for coming to the studios of Asaase.